All right, my name is Vaughn. I'm checking in. Uh, After giving a couple of interviews this summer, as well as towards the end of the school year, I just wanted to make a video just to give those teachers who are looking for positions a couple of tips on how to better prepare themselves for the interview as well as land their position. Now, this is going to be a brief video. I'm going to hit on a couple of key points, but I really feel confident if you pay attention to this video and you apply what I'm talking about, it's going to put you in a better position to land the position that you are or that you have been applying for. So first, be yourself. Do not come in being fake, trying to be someone that you're not, trying to fit into a box that's not you. You're going to come off unauthentic. And a seasoned interviewer or just someone who can spot a fraud, they're going to see soon into the interview that you're not speaking from your experiences, you're not being yourself. You're trying to figure out how you can maneuver through the interview to get the position, but in actuality you're not being yourself. So number one, be yourself. All right. Number two, be confident. How do you get confident? Research. Research, research, research. Research the school. Research the principal. Research the school district. Have an idea or a makeup of what the school and the district is about and see how the skills that you have can fit that specific school or that specific district. And when you're there, speak about your experiences. I encourage you, if you do not have the experiences, get online and look for those who have the experiences or reach out to friends, friends of friends, families, anybody that you know in education or that has been in education that can share their experiences with you so that you can kind of mesh that together with what experience you do have so that the interview goes well when, the interviewer asks you, well, tell us about yourself, tell us about your experiences in education or in a specific area. So make sure you have something to talk about when they ask you about your experiences. It doesn't matter if it's student teaching. It doesn't matter if it's, from what you were able to learn in college. And of course, from the experiences, if you've been an educator, that helps. So take all that together and make sure you have something to say. Don't come to the interview and not have answers. All right. You can have the wrong answers. Okay. A wrong answer here or there, you still might be in a good position, but you can't not have any answers. You have to have something to speak about. And I'm not just talking about for experiences, I'm talking about for all of your answers and your responses to the questions being asked. Classroom management, okay? Classroom management. Be ready to answer a question about classroom management. Why? Most teachers, especially new teachers, experience the biggest pitfall when it comes to classroom management, okay? You're handling, 20, 25 different personalities, different behaviors, sometimes various backgrounds. You're dealing with a whole lot of different kids. And again, they're kids. They're not adults. They don't know how to hone it in. Sometimes they get out of line and it's hard for them even to bring themselves back. So how are you going to handle class management? What are you going to do? Routines and procedures to start the school year. You want to have your routines and procedures mapped out. A lot of times the district or the school will provide that for you. But what are you going to go into the year with? What is your plan before you even get the position? What are you going to do? All right. Something I always encourage, my people that I interview or teachers that I've been in contact, I always say, hey, as it pertains to classroom management, make sure you have a plan, okay? Go over the routines and procedures. Make sure you review those routines and procedures with your students. And be okay with stepping out of the nice zone, all right? Anyone who has kids or has been around kids, that it's hard to be a kid and stay calm and be still. It's hard for adults. I mean, I'm in meetings with adults where it's hard for us as adults to sit still, to stay still, to not move, to stay focused. So just think about how hard it is for a child to do that. So what are you going to do to handle class management? What routines and procedures you have in place, and what are you going to do when it all goes bad? And I'm going to tell you, for any of you interviewing, if a question comes up that pertains to when do you call the principal, you make sure you answer the question in a way that you're not going to be a buzzer beater. And a buzzer beater is someone who hits that button every time, Johnny gets out of his seat. Every time Susie says something that when she speaks out of turn or out of line. No one wants that. All right. They want someone who's going to handle most of the discipline in their classroom on their own, take ownership of their classroom. And then when it all goes bad, of course, if it's something that puts people in danger, something very serious, then you call your administration. So classroom management. Next, and this kind of ties in with classroom management to start, and that's relationships. Relationships. Actually, relationships probably should have been first, because if you make good relationships with your kids and your staff, as well as your parents, you're probably going to have a successful year. All right. So relationships. How are you going to talk about relationships in an interview? You're going to come in, you're going to build relationships with your students. That's key. That's vital. It's probably more vital right now, us still being within a pandemic than any other time, because kids are going to come back to school or log into their computers, and, they might not have had a great summer. They might have been inside for most of the summer. And, there might be some stuff going on with their family or with them. So making sure you build those relationships, making sure you're worrying and taking care of the kids emotionally first before you provide them with that education. These are things that you want to discuss and you want to talk about. Also, your colleagues, your staff, how are you going to build relationships with them? You're new. No one knows you. How are you going to come in and build relationships with them? Are you going to be, the person who stays in their room and keeps the door shut? Or are you going to be the person who's out there asking questions, who's, even though you may be inexperienced, providing, your input and what you feel and what you think? This is the way that you need to answer the question when it comes to relationships. You're going to be about kids. You want to get to know the kids. You want the kids to get to know you. You want to have a family feel within your classroom. You want to get to know the staff, especially your team. You want to have a family feel with your staff, with your team. You want them to know that they can come and rely on you as well as you can rely on them. And then parents. People forget the parents. What are you going to do to build relationships with parents? Reaching out to parents early, not when a behavior happens and something goes bad. Reaching out to them early, communicating who you are, introducing yourself, what you're going to do for the school year, how you're going to be a good teacher for the that person's child, and then how you're going to keep the lines of communication open with that parent throughout the course of the school year, because parents want to know what's going on with their kids. Instruction. Now you, especially for new teachers, you lack this. You don't have a whole bunch of instructional experience. But guess what? The internet can tell you everything you need to know as far as instruction is concerned. I will tell you something that you're going to hear in most places. You're going to hear the I do, we do, you do. All right? You're going to hear that. That's a workshop model. Sometimes you'll even hear the I do, we do, you all do, you do. And all it is, I'm just going to tell you, you lead the lesson. Okay, it starts off with you, the teacher, it's center, but you don't control. Okay, kind of like if you're playing a sport, basketball, you're not hogging the ball. Okay, you're still sharing some of the responsibilities, but to start the lesson, you're mainly taking control. You're handling most of what's being taught, what's being, communicated, and then you're giving kids the opportunity to turn and talk, to share, give feedback, experiences, background knowledge. Then you all do. Give the kids the opportunity to maybe work on something with one another. And then next, then working by themselves. So the I do, we do, you do model. It's going to come up, instruction. It's pretty much what almost everyone uses. You want to research it. And collaboration. If it's not PLCs, all right, professional learning committees or communities, It's how you're collaborating with your team. How are you going to collaborate? What do you know about collaborating? Do you believe in collaborating? Are you a collaborator? Are you someone who's going to, you know, go online and get everything you need, or use the curriculum guide and get everything what you need and then just function in your room, in isolation? Or are you going to share some of those ideas? Or even better, because you're new, whether it's to education or to the campus, are you going to lean on your fellow teachers, even maybe your instructional team? Are you going to lean on them for advice and guidance? Or are they going to have to seek you out and try to force whatever it is they need you to do upon you? Are you going to seek them out, or are they going to have to seek you out? You want to be someone who comes to the table and says, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, but I know I don't know everything, so I'm going to seek advice and guidance when it's necessary. And being new to a school, new to education, is probably going to be more times than not. And I said this before, I say it again: be confident. Have confidence in yourself. Know that you can do it. Do your research. And then something that most people don't tell you is you may not be the right fit, right? You just might not be the right fit for that particular position, okay? All right, every candidate isn't for every school. Every school isn't for every candidate. So don't take it personal, all right? Q-tip it. Quit taking it personal. If you get the job, great. If you don't, then you get right back to the drawing board. You go back into your applications. You do not give up. You update your application. You look over your application and you look at, what did I put in my application that may have been communicated the wrong way? How can I make my application a little bit better so that the next time someone's looking at my application, they're thinking, yes, I want to call this person for an interview. But again, do not lose confidence. Actually, it should fuel you and put more gas in your tank that you didn't get the position, because you should be feeling like you were more than equipped to successfully take over that position. They missed out, and because they missed out, you're going to go back to the drawing board. You're going to fill out more apps. You're going to do more research. So the next time someone looks at your app, they're pulling your name. And the next time you get an interview, you're better prepared. So, I just wanted to check in with everybody, provide just a little bit of my experiences interviewing people, as well as being in interviews, and just give teachers just a little bit of feedback on what they can do to put themselves in a better position to land the position. And I'll kind of go back over the key points. Be yourself. Be confident. Do your research. Classroom management. Building relationships. Instruction. Okay? Collaboration. Okay? And then if it doesn't go the way you want, do not lose confidence. There is a position for you. All right? You just got to go find it, and you got to prepare for that interview, and you got to make it yours. So I appreciate you all taking the time out to listen to this video. Hopefully it helped you all. Maybe it's someone you can share this video with. It could help them land their position. It's hiring season for educators right now, all the way up until the very end. So I wish you all the best on your journey to becoming an educator or landing a new position. And you all take care.